Good evening, everybody. Sorry about last week. I was a little bit unwell, but I'm feeling much better now. Well, that's been a really extraordinary week, obviously in the UK, because we lost our Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. So obviously there's been an awful lot about her going on, but it's just amazing how life can change on a sixpence. And, you know, tomorrow's not a given. So I always say try and make the best of today. But also, you know, if you want to travel, if you want to sell your house and, you know, do something crazy with the money, whatever, just do it. Because if you're going to keep worrying about what's tomorrow, there's a very good chance, you know, tomorrow, as I say, is not given, and there will be no tomorrows at some point. Anyway, I don't want to sit being miserable all the time. So just before I take some calls, I just wanted to tell you that I've got quite a lot of events going on at the moment. So on the 29th of September, I'm at the Spice Merchant up in Fleet in Hampshire. And that's a dinner and an evening with me. And on the 27th of October, I'm at the Spice Route, which is also an Indian, but down at an Indian restaurant, but down in Andover. So it's a completely different direction. They're about 14 miles apart. And on the 3rd of November, I'm in Basingstoke, my hometown. So I've still got, and there are some other events after that. I'm still got events right up until the 8th of December this year. And courses that I'm running are Awakening Your Psychic Abilities, which is the basic introductory course on the 24th of this month at the Hampshire Court in Basingstoke. That's always a lovely day. It's learning how to work with spirit safely, about grounding, protection, working with your spirit guides, chakras. We work with pendulums and we work with candles. So it's a really, really lovely day and a very, very relaxing day, but interesting. And it gives you lots of things to go home and work on to work with spirit. And then I've got Enhancing Your Psychic Abilities on Saturday, the 22nd of October. And that is where we then take what we've learnt on the original course and we start to work with photographs, and we get messages about the photograph, and we get and we work with photographs, we work with jewellery, we work with crystal balls, we work with angel or oracle cards, depending on how you phrase them. And that is a really lovely day as well. But it's just using different techniques to work with spirit and different tools. And then I've got a deepening your tarot skills, on your tarot reading skills on Saturday, the 3rd of December, because what happens is we learn the cards and we kind of know what the cards mean, and that's fabulous. And the biggest problem people have is always putting it all together. So it's how you put things together, and whether it's talking about work, whether it's talking about relationships, whether it's talking about health. You know, there's so many things that tarot can cover, but it's just putting it all together. So I have somebody waiting to speak to me now, a lady called Kate. And I think it was from Fort Lauderdale, but I could be absolutely... Katie from Fort Lauderdale. Is that Louisiana? Okay, then, not Fort Lauderdale at all. Sorry, I do apologise. From Louisiana. Hello, Katie. How are you? Hello? Hello? I don't have Katie. Okay, don't have Katie. Don't worry, I can talk a bit longer. So there are literally only 3 weeks left to see me, which is this week. I've got 2 other weeks, and then I should be leaving A1, our radio station, which has been absolutely fabulous. But I've just got such a busy schedule in the second half of the year that for me to actually even dedicate a Tuesday evening to it is going to actually be impossible. So unfortunately, I'm going to be leaving the radio station, but I'm not going to be leaving what I do, what my work is. Obviously, okay. Katie, are you back again? Hello,
I'm
Katie?
here.
Oh, hello, Katie. Sorry, I don't know what happened there before. You're through to Lesley. How can I help you?
I'm interested in what Spirit wants me to know.
I'm sorry, I didn't even catch what you said there. What did you say to me?
What Spirit wants me to know.
What Spirit wants you to know. Okay. Was there anything in particular you wanted me to cover? Was it about relationships? Was it about work? Obviously, you've got limited time. Relationships. Okay. All right. Can I ask you where your father is, Katie?
Texas?
Okay. There's a man coming through, so it must be on your father's side. So your granddad's in spirit, your father's father?
My great-grandfather. I also have elders, though.
I beg your pardon?
I have elders, not related by blood, but are significant to me.
But that would be in spirit, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's fine, because I have a man coming through very strongly for you. What he does say to me is that you've certainly had your trials and tribulations in relationships, Katie. So I wouldn't say that relationships have ever come easy for you. But I do feel that a lot of that stems back from what he's saying is your youth. Yeah, your youth. So I don't know if you struggled with relationships with your father or your father just wasn't around very much, but certainly there has been some issues regarding relationships. But I think it stems back to your youth, okay?
Yes.
Are you still there, Katie? Have I lost you?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
No,
do you understand why I'm saying that?
Yes, ma'am. I completely do.
Okay.
It resonates.
Perfect. Okay. So just validate for me, because otherwise I feel like, oh dear, I want to make sure I'm connected to spirit. Well, you've got a couple of men that come through very strongly correct for you. What I do feel is that first of all, you don't need to be in a relationship, Casey. You're a very independent lady. Not everybody is, and that's fabulous, that you actually don't need to be in a relationship. But what I do feel is that you've always been with people that are maybe not as strong as you, Katie, for want of a better way of putting it.
Yes.
Okay. But can I ask you, have you recently met somebody?
Yes, I'm in a relationship. I actually moved across the country, and it's been a bit rocky, but we have some really good times and growth, and it's been a good relationship.
Okay, well, I will tell you that relationship is going to improve. I don't know what's gone on here, but he's telling me he's learned his lesson, so I have no idea what he wasn't doing correctly, Katie. But your grandfather...
I exactly know what it means. I know exactly
okay,
what
all right.
Yes.
But he's learned his lesson is what I'm getting. And that I feel that he definitely is turning over a new leaf. So even in the next 6 to 8 weeks, Katie, I definitely feel that the whole situation in your relationship is calming down, but allowing other things to come forward for you. I always feel that you're always going to be stronger than him and much more independent than him. So for some unknown reason, you tend to attract men that aren't as independent as you, for want of a better way of putting it. But I do feel that you can certainly hold your own with all the trials and tribulations that you've had. It does make me laugh. It's like you hit them all on the head. Yeah, that's the way he gives it. So it's like you keep the ball in line. He makes me laugh. So he said, she's not frightened of coming forwards with your thoughts. So I do feel that things are moving. I'd like to know, on a work level, my love, are you also changing jobs at the moment?
I'm searching right now. Yeah, I'm really doing a lot of searching.
Right. Well, there's a job coming up, or a few jobs coming up, so you can choose. But you've got new contracts around you, so there is definitely new jobs and that coming up for you in the very, very near future. And again, you might hear of something in the next 6 to 8 weeks or so. So a lot is changing for you. My concern is that your man is still not totally fixed. So I don't know what his issues are in the past, but I can tell you this move overall is good for you. The area is good for you. I think the whole move has brought new energies for you. So here's where I am. If he doesn't shape up, I still feel that the whole move is good for you, Katie.
Uh-huh. I moved back to where I went to high school, and it's actually someone I was on a track team. So a lot of I've been in Arizona for 17 years. So
perfect. Then you understand
April,
why
I shifted over this way, and
Yeah. This is why it's good for you. So I didn't know that that's where you came from, but I do know that it was a definite good move for you. So you're never going to be alone, is what he says. So that makes sense, because you'd have other people around that you knew from when you were at school, and the whole place is familiar. So overall, I think they're quite pleased with you. I do think that your man needs some sort of counselling, or he needs something. He's very emotional. He's not quite himself at the moment.
Yes, we've been dealing with that. I've had to activate more patience and understanding, because I feel like sometimes he's more feminine than masculine, which then I can be more masculine than feminine. So it's like a power balance going on.
Yeah, no, I do get it, and I think that he is never going to be as strong as you. But for me, he has some issues in his past that he needs to resolve. And I don't know if he's been involved with alcohol or drugs or something in the past, because his energy generally isn't as strong as what it should be.
Yeah, it's alcohol. He does drink a little each day. I have noticed him trying to wean himself. I've seen him trying. I've seen him making the effort without me having to say. Things I've said before has made a fight. But now I think he's like really actualizing what I've said and bettering himself.
Good. Well, it's almost like sometimes the wrong person needs the reading or comes for the reading. And that happens, well, quite a lot actually, Katie. So what I'm trying to say to you is, in some ways, I'd like to give him some messages to say, it's really up to him whether this relationship succeeds or fails. It's down to him now. You can't do any more, Katie, than what you've done. And they are saying fair play to you. So he now needs to stand up and be a man. Otherwise, this relationship won't go forward. But he's always going to be a little bit all over the place. Can I just ask you, anybody in your family in nursing or medical?
Quite a few in my family, yeah.
Yeah, they were just ignored. And I think there's people in spirit that were also connected to medical, nursing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You don't see your father much, is that correct?
I do not, no. We haven't talked for a long time. But I talk to my stepmom, so I'm connected to them. But my dad and I still have a lot of healing. We've gone through a lot of healing, but there's still some.
Do you know your dad's energy is a little bit like your partner's energy? I just feel that he doesn't stand up and be the man he should be, full stop.
Yeah. I can see that.
Well, well done to you, Katie, because I think you've done very well. I think you've done exceptionally well under all the circumstances. They're certainly giving you a clap from spirit. What I will do, I'm going to say for you personally, I think they're going to bring you some really good opportunities on a work level, home level, all of that. Please don't hold yourself back for somebody if they're not standing up and being the person that they should be. I think they will have learnt their lesson, but they need to work at this. And I think they need some additional help, whether that's with their alcohol, whether it's just general counselling or a bit of both. I'm not sure, but certainly I think that he would do himself a favour to actually say, do you know what, this is what I need to go forward. Because the responsibility is not yours.
Yeah. I get that.
Okay.
I get that. Okay.
All right. I'll leave the love with you anyway, my love. And I hope that's been okay for you.
Oh, that's been beautiful. Yeah, thank you. A lot of
You're very welcome.
affirmations for me.
Good. Look after you, won't you?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye. So I think I had a Diane, and I know I'm somewhere in the UK. I just don't know where. Guildford, wasn't it? Or sorry, just up the road from me. Is that correct?
Guildford.
Hello. Guildford.
Hello.
Is that Diane? Was it Diane? Did
Yes.
I get your name right there? Hello, Diane. How are
Yes, you did.
You're through to Lesley. How can I help you? Have you ever been to see me? Do you know me from this area or no?
No, I live in England.
So do I.
I take it you.
I live up.
Oh,
No, I live up the road from you. I live in Basingstoke, so Guildford's not very far from me, and I've certainly been up to Guildford in the past doing events and stuff. That's why I was asking you, but not to worry. How can I help you, Diane?
I just wanted to know if any of my loved ones have got anything to say to me.
Okay, first thing I get is your father. Your father's passed?
Well, yes.
Okay, who had, I can't move my face very well, so they might have had a stroke or they just couldn't speak to the end. And the other thing I've got is a heart issue. I know you've got quite a few people coming through for you, Diane, who had the heart issue. So I've got a stroke and heart issue, or something to do with I can't move my face. I can't speak very well at the end.
My brother.
Your brother. What did he pass with? Can you tell me?
Yeah, he had bronchopneumonia and renal failure. And
right.
The reason why I wanted to speak to somebody is because he only died at the end of May, and I blame myself for not doing more.
Okay, well, I tell you what, Diane, he's absolutely fine, but I also know that he couldn't speak very well in the end, which may have been very much to do with the renal failure. I don't know, but certainly I get that. Look, your brother's absolutely fine. He tells me, I think he was quite up and down for about 2 or 3 days before he passed, and then he passed quite peacefully, he said at the end, but it was all a bit crazy for 2 or 3 days. Look, I felt as if you'd had your ups and downs in the past, is what he tells me.
Yes.
But he said, I was as much to blame as what you were. So here's where I am with you, Diane. I feel that you were both quite stubborn. You were quite standoffish. Nobody wanted to really make the first move. And a lot of the stuff goes back a lot of years, Diane.
Yeah, we were always close until he got married.
So, yeah, but he's obviously been married some time now. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So he says it goes back some time. But he did love you, and I felt, I don't know if he was Big Brother, but he talks to me as if he was Big Brother, and he says he was Big Brother. So even if he was your younger brother, he's your Big Brother. Okay, that's fine, because that's what he tells me. Because sometimes they say that, but that's just because they think they are, even if they're not. But what he does say is that, you know, he did protect you when you were younger, and I felt that you were very close as children, very close. But he would protect. He would protect you. I don't think that when he got married, there was just a rift with you. I believe there was a rift right down the family.
You're right there, yeah.
That's what he tells me.
First,
so he says
there was in the end, yeah.
Yeah, he does tell me it wasn't just you, it was everybody. So what he wants you to know is that, you know, look, your brother chose the life that he wanted to have. And I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but he does say it was his choice, and he's absolutely right. Of course it is. I think with hindsight, you might have been right.
Yeah. Difficult.
I don't need to know. I'm just passing on messages. So what he does say is that, you know, with hindsight, you might have been right. But, you know, he's just so pleased that he can at least reconnect with you. He's with his dad, and your mum's passed too, Diane, yes?
Yeah.
He says he's with dad and mum. So
my mum died in 2008, and she didn't want to go into hospital, but I looked after her at home.
Okay. Well, she's here, and she just smiles, but I think she's just let your brother stand forward because you obviously haven't spoken. And what your mum does say is, we were all right at the end. So there was always although she passed, you kind of said all what you needed to say. Do you see what I'm trying to say to you? Like, you had that time to say what you wanted to say. I think the reason your brother's been pushed forward. I do think your brother's got a very good sense of humour, and I think he was quite funny when he was younger. He also tells me, I had lots of girls after him. I don't know if this is correct. I don't need to know, but he's just saying that, you know, he was a fun guy and people were very much attracted to him when he was younger. He was quite charismatic.
Yeah, he did have a very good sense of humour.
Yeah. So can I come to you, Diane, because your energy is a bit low, and your mum is saying you maybe need to see a doctor. I don't know what's wrong with you, but she is giving you that message.
Oh. Don't like my mum to say anything like that.
No. Have you been quite tired lately?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you go and see somebody? I don't know if you're lacking in iron or something or another. I don't know. I just feel like that's a message coming from spirit. And I always say to people, if you get a health message, please action it, because something can be done. They wouldn't be telling us if something couldn't be done. But we clearly don't want to leave stuff if we're not feeling quite ourselves. But your brother's absolutely fine. There is a birthday I need to acknowledge for somebody. Whose birthday was it, or is it?
Not today, no. Oh, Mum.
No.
Mum was the beginning of September.
That's fine. It's usually last 2 weeks, next 2 weeks, but there was so they're obviously having a party in spirit, and that's okay. So anyway, lots of love and healing is being sent to you, but your brother's okay, and he really doesn't want you to dwell on what would have, should have, could have, because he does keep saying he was as much to blame as what you were.
Could you just tell me if my dad's there?
Your dad's here, but he's not saying anything. It's if your brother's in the middle, and I've got your dad on the right-hand side, and I've got your mum on the left-hand side. Do you want him to try and see if I can get him forward?
Yeah.
He's going, all right then. Okay. Was there anything in particular you wanted him to say to you, or you want to ask him? Your dad says he was right.
We were very, very close as I was growing up.
Okay, your dad said he was all right at the end. Hang on a minute. The message from him is that he was all right at the end. So I don't know if you didn't get to see him, or you've always questioned that, but he says he was all right at the end.
And I just miss him, and I wanted to know whether he watched over me at all.
Of course he watches over you. You were his little girl.
Yeah.
You were his little girl. Absolutely, he looks over you. You've had a tough life, Diane.
Have I got a what?
You've had a tough life, he tells me.
Yeah.
You've had a very challenging time. Very challenging time.
I've been through a lot of challenging times just lately.
You have. And he's there for you.
Yeah.
But there will be movement, I will say to you. You've got to get to the end of October, beginning of November, when I think things will move on a bit for you, Diane, and know that everybody's behind you. It was a blessing in disguise when your brother died. So again, I'm not totally sure of all the circumstances, but I know that he felt a lot better. He was relieved to get out of his body.
I expect Mum and Dad come for him, didn't they?
Yeah, but he must have been unwell or something beforehand in quite a big way for him to say he was relieved, because I felt as if he was in quite a lot of pain. He takes me down his arms and everywhere. So I think he was struggling quite a lot beforehand.
Yeah, I looked after him for 3 weeks, and then he got taken into hospital. And
there you go.
I didn't see him after the Sunday, and he died on the Tuesday.
Okay. Well, he's absolutely fine, and he was relieved anyway. I don't think he wanted you to see him at the end, I'll be honest with you. He's a very proud man. He's a proud man, this one. Very proud. Somebody's playing cards here. Who's the big card player?
My Auntie Eileen.
Oh, my God. Cards. I don't know, she's dishing out all the cards. She's shuffling the cards. That's all she's done. So she's just playing cards in the background here. So, but she would have played. I felt like that she always had a pack of cards. Like if you sat down, she's always got a pack of cards.
Yeah, she used to play it a lot, her and her husband.
Yeah, a lot. This isn't just someone who has a game of cards. This is someone who plays a lot of cards. Anyway, I'll leave it all with you. Is that okay, Diane?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Look after you, won't you?
Yeah, thank you.
All the best. So just before I close, yes. So I've got next week and the week after, and then I'll be leaving A1R Radio, Psychic Radio, which is quite sad. But as I say, I've got such a lot going on in the second half of the year, one thing and another. So that doesn't stop you. I will be doing some lives, and if you want to know about those so you can still get a free reading from me, then you'll need to contact connect with me on my Facebook page. Just follow me on there or follow me on Instagram, and you will be able to know what's going on and attend the lives and potentially get a free reading. I also run some competitions for free readings, or sometimes to win, if you're in the UK, a ticket to one of my shows. We're just running one for a meal and a ticket for the Spice Merchants, so that you get a meal and an evening with me as part of the prize. So we've always got something going on if you'd like to connect with me. So it's not the end of me and working with spirit. It's just, unfortunately, I've got so many other things going on at the moment. But I wish you all a lovely week. Obviously, we've got the funeral of the Queen on Monday, so we will be, the whole country will have a day off, obviously, for the funeral. So I will be back next Tuesday and deliver a few messages. And if anybody wants anything particular for me to talk about, please email me at inquiries, that's ENQ, not with an INQ, ENQ. And then, or you can do it through Facebook or whatever. But if you ever want me to bring up anything on my show or would like to ask anything about spirit, you're welcome to do so. And I will try to give you my honest answer as to what I feel or whatever comes up. Okay? Well, all have a lovely week, and I shall see you this time next week. Bye for now.